The sixth step in the process is to build prototypes, rapid prototypes, or the skeleton of the system. We did prototypes when we were designing our hardware toy. We're going to do prototypes again for our software program. You can think of them as screenshots. Imagine that your software is going to be moving from screen to screen to screen, conveying information to the user. If you could take a snapshot of a moment in time of what that screen might look like, that would be a prototype. And these can be very valuable as you show them to the client and they can say they like the layout or they like the format or the information on the screen. If they don't like something, it would be quick and easy to change it if it's just a pretty front end with no real back end in place. And so rapid prototypes don't require any kind of a back end. They just need a pretty front end that allows you perhaps maybe there's buttons on the screen, and if you press a button, nothing happens, but it can show the user a visual representation of some of the screens. Now, there's different tools that we can use to build rapid prototypes. The first tool that we're going to talk about is mockups, and I can get to mockups through my Google Drive. So I'm going to go to my email, and I'm going to click on the icon that looks like a checkerboard up here by my profile picture. I'm going to go to my Google Drive. And one of the options that are available to me if I select New is to say that I want a new mockup. So I'll select New and then More and then Mockups. This is going to take me into Mockups for my account. It's going to ask me several annoying questions before it allows me to create a new project. So there's a chance it's not going to allow me to create a project because I already have several of them in here. So instead I'm going to open an existing one because I have too many of them in here already. And it's going to tell me how much it would cost if I chose to update to a paid plan. Otherwise I can just use the free account. And then this will take me into the main sheet where I can then begin to create new documents. Now another way that I can get to it is to just type in mockups.com and it will take me in through the front end where I can choose to sign in or not. If I just try it for free, it'll take me to the main home page of the site. This first pop-up is a quick tutorial, a brief, I think it's like a 2-minute tutorial on how to use mockups. The thing that I like so much about mockups is it has all kinds of icons or stencils, it has all kinds of stencils that allow me to build a wireframe or a prototype of my screen. So I'm going to click on Pages, tell it that I would like a new page, and it gives me a blank page that I can add components to. If I click on the workspace, it gets rid of that pop-up window over there. And now if I click on stencils, it allows me to drag and drop things onto the screen, such as a radio button. I can drop radio buttons onto the screen. If I click on, it allows me to change what it says. And so now I have a couple of radio buttons. I can drag and drop a combo box. And if I click into it, I can change what it actually says. Let's say, for instance, that I have, I can drag and drop a calendar onto my screen depending upon what components or what screen it is that I'm creating a prototype of. One of the things that I also like about this is somewhere down here at the bottom, let me search for a phone. I'm going to search for a iPhone 6. So I'm going to drag this iPhone 6 onto my screen. Let's see if we can get it a little bit smaller so I can see my iPhone 6. And then if I change its grouping, I'm going to push it to the back. We'll align it, arrange it, send it backwards, which means that I should be able to bring my map over top of it. I know that I had something right here. Let me move it. There was something. There it is. I'm going to bring my calendar, see if we can get the calendar, bring it to the front. so that I could put my calendar on top of my iPhone 6. I have a couple of radio buttons that I should be able to bring to the front. And I could design a prototype of what the screen on my iPhone 6 might look like. And so mock-ups is a fun tool that you can use. You can also use Lucidchart because you have a Gmail account through your Weber email system. You can sign in to Lucidchart using your Gmail account. I won't be able to export or save this file if I don't sign in, but if you, it's easy. If you want to sign in, if I export it, it wants me to log in with Google. Because I'm already signed in to my Gmail account, it's automatically going to log me in, and then it will allow me to export that file. And you can upload that file to the group section, the file section of your group homepage. I actually have other pages in here, and I have exceeded the quota for my free account. So let's look at Lucidchart, which is another tool that we can use to build wireframes. I can also get to Lucidchart through my Google Drive. So I can go back to my Google Drive, click on New, tell it that I want more, and then Lucidchart. And this is going to go directly into my Lucidchart account because of my Gmail account. And from here I would be able to select a blank wireframe. It's going to create a new document. It's giving me all the different options that I can create. If I select a blank wireframe, it will bring me directly into the place where I can begin building a wireframe or a prototype with the stencils that are available through Lucidchart. Another way that I can do this is by signing in directly to lucidcharts.com. If I don't want to go through my Google Drive, I still have access to it. I can just go directly to lucidcharts.com. All right, so I'm going to have it not sign up. I'm going to click on Login. And once again, because I'm already signed into my Gmail account and to Canvas, it's not going to require me to sign in. Oh, here it is. Instead of putting in an email address, I'm just going to tell it to log in with Google. And when I say log in with Google, if I'm not already signed into my Gmail account, it's going to ask me for my username and password. Those are going to be my Gmail or my Weber email credentials, my Weber email account name, and my password to get in. And then it will take me to this dashboard. So what I want to do is I want to create a new document. I'm going to click the down arrow, and then over here on the right hand side I'm going to scroll all the way down to something called a wireframe. And if I click on the wireframe, if I double click on the wireframe, it's going to allow me to open a blank wireframe. And then just like we did with Lucidcharts, I should be able to drag and drop stencils or images, different components onto my screen as a way to create electronic wireframes or prototypes. So I'm going to drag a browser window onto my screen. And then let's see if we can drag and drop. I'll resize it. That one is way too big. So I could drag, oh, there's maps. Doesn't look like Google Maps. Looks like Windows Maps. Here's a pie chart. But he's way too big, so I should be able to make him smaller. If I click on him, I can change what the pie chart is. So if I double click on some of the icons, it allows me to make changes in them. This is another tool that I can use to create wireframes. So what I want each member of your group to do is to take the use case that you were modeling through the pseudocode when you wrote out the list of steps that it would take to complete that, And I want you to imagine, as you were going through those list of steps, as you were moving through your software and your pseudocode, what would the screens look like as you were moving through those steps? And pick one of the screens, and I want you to create a prototype for it. You can draw it by hand. You can create it in Visio. You can create it in mock-ups. You can create it in Lucidcharts. However you choose to do it, you need to create one of the screens that you might encounter as you were moving through the flowchart, or excuse me, the pseudocode in your particular use case. Once you're done, I'm going to have you upload it to the file section of the group homepage. If you decide to create it in Lucidchart, you can export it. If you do file save as or download as, file download as, you can export it as a PDF file. Because you signed in with your Gmail account, your Weber email account, it will allow you to save your document as a PDF file that you can upload to the file section of your group homepage.